To this month's Finding Indiana feature, we're meeting an Indiana native who made history during World War II. Our Randall Newsome introduces us to Major Charles B. Hall's climb to become a Tuskegee Airman.
It's 1941. Young men from all over the country are being called to serve in World War II, a chance to show their devotion and protect the home of the brave. One of those men up to the challenge, Charles B. Hall, also known as Buster.
He was born in Brazil, Indiana, August the 25th of 1920. They had a small African-American community there, but it was well knitted together, and it appears that the schools were integrated. And so he had a relatively good childhood and student body experience there. He was a football player. He was an athlete because he went to Eastern Illinois on a football scholarship.
But in college, he found another calling on his life.
The Tuskegee program, experiment they called it then, that they appealed first to college graduates. At the time, there were not quite enough college graduates to fill the program, so then they began to appeal to those college students who were undergrads or students, working on their 4-year degree. And evidently Dad heard the call, and he must have had an inkling or desire to want to fly. And so he enlisted into the program at Tuskegee.
As tensions grew between the U.S. and Germany, Buster saw this as a chance to be a difference maker.
As the Tuskegee experiment was concerned, it was an opportunity for young black men to experience this thing of being an officer. Most opportunity was in the non-commissioned ranks of the military. And with the Army Air Corps, this opportunity to become cadets and get in an officer program, as well as maybe see combat and other skills that have to deal with aviation, yes, that was an opportunity.
In 1942, he was assigned to the 332nd Fighter Group's 99th Fighter Squadron. A year later, Hall and his squadron escorted bombers on an airfield raid in Sicily, Italy, eventually becoming the first to shoot down a German enemy aircraft over North Africa.
Charlie had that stamina and I guess that grit to go up against, those who were a little bit larger than he on the football field. And he carried that, evidently, into his training for aviation and certainly into the realm of combat.
With a victory under his belt and back at home, Buster became the first black fighter pilot to earn the Distinguished Flying Cross, congratulated by Supreme Allied Commander and General Dwight Eisenhower.
As his son, I think it's remarkable because, to come up, grow up, knowing that your father received a medal called the Distinguished Flying Cross, that was kind of a prideful thing. But it's funny how that is. In my childhood, I did not talk very much about the accomplishments of my dad. Most of the children had no idea that there were black pilots. The few children that came to my house, they had an opportunity to see a photo or two of my dad standing beside his training plane. That accomplishment to me was grand, but what I did come to understand, it was the first of just many victories.
That was Randall Newsome reporting. You can catch Finding Indiana every second Tuesday of the month right here on Wish TV during the midday and 5 p.m. news.